So I think this one's very interesting because a lot of people are hating on the artist. So I'm just curious about your thoughts on this. So this is actually about a brand that I personally really love. I wear them like no joke. These sweats right now are from that brand. Like I really like this brand a lot. I own at least $2,000 worth of their clothing. Yeah, the brand is called Popflex. This is not sponsored. They have sent me free clothing in the past. They've never paid me a single dime, so I don't expect them to, right? But I will state right now, I'm gonna be a little biased because I personally do really like the clothing brand. This is a post made by a user on Threads called Blogilates. Blogilates is a very popular YouTuber. Super popular fitness YouTuber with 10.6 million subscribers who goes by the name of Cassie Ho. She is a certified Pilates and fitness instructor and also owns Popflex. That is her brands. So she owns the Blogilates brand and the Popflex brand. She has made a lot of fitness videos, workout videos, whatever. Like, she's like the go of fitness. In her post, she writes, "The trickle down is trickling." And this is about her Popflex brand. So she has a series of posts where this one reads the trickle down effect of celebrity influence on fashion trends. Here we have a photo of Taylor Swift and a photo of the purple skirt. So Taylor Swift wore this purple skirt, right? And Taylor Swift, obviously, icon, very, very popular. Her wearing this Popflex skirt while playing tennis made this skirt go insanely viral. This skirt has already been viral, but it went giga viral after Taylor Swift wore it. Specifically this purple color, because now everybody wants to go and copy Taylor Swift. Totally fair. So, Cassie writes, how it started. I designed the pirouette skirt back in 2021 because I couldn't find an athletic skirt that made me feel strong yet graceful. I told Sam, Sheehan's gonna dupe this. And here is the drawing of the sketch. I think it's really cool because in Cassie's brand, she draws a lot of the sketches herself, so you can really see the design process. It also really feels like in the design process that she takes the consumer's thoughts and desires to heart. It's very consumer-centric clothing. So I bought this skirt like basically around the moment it came out. So 2021 or 2022. Like literally basically the moment it came out, I bought it. So she then made a second version. So I bought both version 1 and version 2 because I just really, really liked it. And you can see the changes she made. There's built-in shorts. The shorts are anti-camel toe. She also has pockets in it as well. The waist is really cinching. Again, these are all design choices that a lot of people have wanted out of clothing. You know, like a lot of people who wear skirts have really wanted pockets in the skirt so they can put their phones and stuff like that in it. This is my favorite skirt in existence. I own this skirt in like 5 different colors. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm gonna sound crazy, but look, literally me in my Getty photo, I am wearing a Popflex skirt. It is the exact same skirt, it's just in white. Oh, look at this photo. I am also wearing the Popflex skirt, different color. Anyways, you guys get the point. I don't need to keep showing you. Anyways, huge fan. Number 2, the first dupe. So you can see Cassie's original design, and then Shein stealing the design, first violation January 2023. And she adds, after my skirt launch went viral in 2022. Okay, so that's when I bought it, 2022. The first dupe appeared on Shein in 2023. You can see again. It's the dupe. My first patent. Because of the Shein incident, I applied for a design patent to protect my work. It was a difficult, confusing, and expensive process that can normally take up to a few years, but I expedited the process and was awarded my first patent on my birthday on January 16th, 2024. So you can see here is the patent information. I'm actually really surprised the patent was this fast. So yeah, the expedite must be crazy because patents are notoriously long of a process. So it was filed August 8th, 2023, and she was awarded the patent January 16th. In 6 months, she got the patent. That's wildly fast. Then April 19th, 2024, Taylor Swift wore my skirt. My favorite artist in the entire world was wearing my design. I died. A less than 1 second clip of her swinging a pickleball racket in my pirouette skirt sold out that exact design within minutes. Then Swiftie started connecting my skirt to the lyric, lilac short skirt, the one that fits me like skin. From there, things got crazy. Wow. And then Cassie writes, dupes proliferated like a virus. Oh my god, look at all of the dupes. So here, this looks like AliExpress, stolen picture, Amazon, a really poorly photoshopped image. Here, TikTok shop, Temu, Shein, wow. And then Cassie adds, I barely had a chance to celebrate when dupes started popping up all over the fast fashion websites. Then things got weird. As if stealing my designs and photos weren't enough, the dupers also manipulated my models' faces and bodies for their listing, most likely using AI. Wait, look at this though. This is crazy. Look, the shoes are the same, the body pose are the same, except like fingers are now missing. the face looks really, really uncanny. Look at how uncanny the face is. They gave her abs and got rid of some cleavage and made them tanner, I guess. That's just weird. Like, that's not only weird from the brand perspective of having like your listing images that violated, but for the model as well. It's really violating having a picture of you like taken, edited, and manipulated in such a way. So I feel really bad for the model that had this happen to them without their consent, because I'm sure the model had no idea. Infringement by platform. In a little over a year, 471 Pirouette skirt dupe listings have been reported and 431 have been taken down thanks to the patent. So you can see Alibaba and AliExpress is the biggest chunk, with Amazon being the second biggest at respectively 52% and 13.6%. Okay, but guys, this gets wild though. David versus Goliath. Huge brands started stealing the design. So again, here we have the Popflex brand with the original skirt, and then Nordstrom Rack made a dupe. And Cassie writes, less than a year after Taylor made the lilac short skirt famous, Nordstrom Rack began selling a nearly identical dupe. Nordstrom Rack, guys. And then here are the side-by-sides, too close for comfort. The logo placement and the shape of the logo is the same, basically. The color is really similar. The bar tack on the back waistband, wow. And then the end cap shape, it gets worse. Gotex, the manufacturer of the dupe skirt who claims they offer, quote, one-of-a-kind creations, end quote, not only sold their dupe to Nordstrom Rack, it turns out they also sold it to... TJ Maxx, Marshalls. And Cassie writes, seeing my patented work in physical stores was beyond upsetting. Why can't these multi-billion-dollar corporations just buy the real thing? Even more Goliaths. Here we have Kohl's, JCPenney, Gap. It's truly shocking watching the trickle-down effect play out in real time, dupe after dupe. And then Cassie writes, the Taylor Swift effect. There's no design that Taylor's fashion choices are economically powerful. I was lucky enough to be the recipient of less than a 1-second moment, possibly tied to a lyric. And look at the impact she left on my business and the life story of the Pirouette skirt. Taylor Swift, through more than an influencer, is truly the ultimate influencer. So what now? This post isn't just about me. I'm using my platform to speak up for all the other small businesses and independent designers who have been victimized by corporate greed but couldn't speak up for themselves. We cannot let the Goliaths keep stealing from us and getting away with this. My first impressions, this is so freaking sad to see for a number of reasons. One, having your designs and your artwork stolen, because this is essentially your artwork at the end of the day, right? Like, she drew out the design for the skirt and then it got made into a tangible physical product. Oh, I just pulled one out of my closet earlier just to show you. Again, right? Like, to have your physical design that you handmade and you put all the care and attention into, etc. And then not only to have it stolen, but to have it stolen by a company so large you basically financially cannot fight back must feel horrible. And you might be like, oh my god, well, isn't like Kathy a fucking multimillionaire, humongous content creator, da-da-da? She must be rich. She does have her own business. She's got a bajillion followers on YouTube. Yes, that's true. Do you know how much money TJ Maxx, Marshalls are worth? Like, let's just think of it in scale, okay? If we just do a little Google, okay, we have this website, Blogilates net worth. Almost Fearless, this website, values Cassie Ho's net worth as of 2025 at around 7 to 8 million. Again, these net worth estimates are all really, really varied, really, really skewed. Here's Sports Skeeta estimates her net worth to be around 20 million, whatever. Let's look at Marshalls. All right. Marshall's parent company is TJX Companies, Inc., the parent company of Marshalls and TJ Maxx, Home Goods, and other retail brands. How much do you think they're worth, guys? As of February 27, 2025, the net worth of TJX Companies was $139.5 billion. I don't think we need math degree, right? A bachelor's in math to understand that regardless of Cassie's net worth, this is an insanely difficult uphill battle that TJ Maxx, Marshalls, the parent company TJX, yeah, could just literally drop kick her to the curb with a lawsuit, you know? Like, it's not even comparable. It's such an uneven battle. It is literally David and Goliath, okay? So that's what I'm just saying, right? Let's be a little empathetic here. And I feel like a lot of times, a lot of empathy is lost when the person involved is a big content creator or who has a big brand. Because you may feel like, oh, they must be so fucking rich, they must have no problems. No matter how many followers Cassie has at the end of the day, she is still a human being who had an idea in her head that she wanted to make athletic wear that she herself wanted to wear. Athletic wear that would fit her needs. Leggings that did not give her a camel toe. Leggings that were squat proof. And skirts that had pockets in it. She was just a girl with a dream, you know? And she made her brand. It ended up being really successful because she's smart, talented, and fucking killed it with her brand, etc. But regardless of how much success that she has at the end of the day, she is still a human being with an idea that she dreamed up in her head, that she put to pen to paper to make the design come to life, and some big corporate giant came around and stole it. I'm just prefacing this because a lot of people in the comment section seem to lack a lot of empathy. That, in my opinion, I'm like, imagine if this happened to you. And we can downscale it to make it relevant to our lives, right? But let's just say you are a small artist and you have 100 followers on Twitter, and some 1 million follower, humongous artist started tracing your art, and you try making a little call out post about it, and they threaten you with a cease and desist and threaten to sue you. You know, like, that would feel really bad. That's basically what's happening here, but on an even grander scale, because I don't think I need to do the math for you to understand that $140 billion greatly eclipses a maximum net worth of 20 million. This is the brand in question. It is called Popflex. This is the skirt. It is 60 USD. But yeah, they have a lot of colors now. They came out with a ton of colors. But also, here's the thing. A lot of people were complaining about the price point because they were using that as a justification to buy the dupe. Because they were complaining, they were like, oh, your stuff is so expensive, so I am gonna buy the dupe. Okay, I'm gonna say two things, and this might sound a little insensitive, okay? Because one, some people were like, oh, you don't care about us people who can't afford things because it's too expensive. There are markets for every price point, and sometimes that market just isn't you, and it's fine, okay? $60 for a skirt, I would consider it medium priced. Dude, they be selling skirts for thousands of dollars, okay? Like $60 I think is fair. It's not your like $15 Shein skirt, but the price point reflects many different things. But my first point is, again, there's different price points for all things. If you buy a $15 skirt, it's going to behave like a $15 skirt. It's going to start pilling. It's going to stretch. The moment you wear it once, it's going to start stretching. The waistband is going to roll down on you and it's going to drive you nuts. Okay, that's what you get when you pay $15 for a skirt. If you pay $60 for a skirt, you're going to get a skirt whose waistband will not roll down on you when you're wandering around and minding your own business. It will not shrink or change sizes every single wash. This skirt has been washed at least probably 100 times now. Of course, again, I'm going to be very biased, but I've been extremely impressed with the quality of the second version. The first version I did have problems with, but the second version, I've been really impressed with the quality, right? You get what you pay for. And again, sometimes things just aren't going to be in your bracket, and that's fine. I would love a Chanel bag. I would argue that the pricing of a Chanel bag or designer bags are greatly inflated for the actual worth of the product. But regardless, there is a market for designer bags. My price point is not the market they are aiming for, right? A $10,000 Chanel flap is not for people like me. That's fine. I will not die without a Chanel flap. It's okay. My other point is also, I think you get what you pay for, and it's very fair. This skirt snatches you so well. I could eat K-barbecue and literally stuff myself, like all you can eat K-barbecue. I could sit there for 2 hours and get my money's worth and more, and I would still look like I have an hourglass figure afterwards because of the skirt. I'm built like a fridge door, by the way, so that's saying something. It's tight, it fits you well in all the right places. It's got pockets on both sides to hold your phone or anything else you want to stick in it for that matter. And if you wear this on roller coasters and you put your phone in your pocket and the roller coaster goes upside down, don't sue me if you try this, but my phone has not fallen out. So basically, let's see what the comments say, right? This person writes, are you saying you invented this particular design? I'm gonna add a disclaimer. I am not educated in patent law, but I'm pretty certain if you have the patent, that means that you do own the rights to that design. Is that not what a patent is? So if she was granted the patent, which she was, that would mean that it's been decided she owns the rights to this design. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty certain that's how a patent works. And this person writes, you patent your design after somebody else released it. I can see why you're having problems enforcing this. And then Allison writes, that's not how the patent process works. You file for a design patent, and yes, somebody can hypothetically steal your design while it's pending. But once the design patent is granted, you can then enforce it and have the dupes taken down. And then another person responds, does the patent cover the whole world or just the US? Because many of these sites aren't located in the US. And Allison adds, a US patent would cover just the US, but that would still offer protection against foreign companies selling products in the US market. It would be infringement within the US jurisdiction. For protection in other countries, you would have to pursue a patent in each country that you want it. US companies often choose to file for patents in China since it's a major manufacturing hub. And Allison adds, also the USPTO gives you a 1-year grace period from the day you make your design public to file an application. You just have to prove that your design disclosure occurred before somebody else stole your design. But this is another discourse people are having, right? This person writes, clouding on people who want luxury leggings for $5 when hers are 12 times that, lol. Ma'am, us poors want nice things too. I make 12.50 euros an hour. The pirouette skirt is 60 euros. It's literally polyester and spandex with an unfinished hem so fragile it needs to be washed on cold and hung to dry. Wait, I've never done that. I just throw it in my wash and throw it in the dryer with everything else and it's been fine. It's not fine with cats though. If you let your cat sink their claws into it, it will tear the tulle. But like that's literally with every article of clothing ever. I learned this the hard way when my cat's broke into my closet and he sunk his claws into one of my skirts. I'm very sad. I'm just curious on your thoughts, right? But like I can totally understand that if you can't afford things, you still want nice things, right? Like if you make minimum wage, you would still want to have nice products, but I would still state that like necessarily possible. There is a manufacturing cost and sometimes you can't lower the price beyond a certain extent. Like I get it. I get it. You know, when I was younger, I wanted Uggs, but you know, we couldn't afford Uggs, so I got Uglies, whatever the cheaper version was that we could find. It do be like that, but that's fine because I couldn't afford it. So I get what I could pay for, which was not Uggs. But yeah, so this was a post, I guess, that Blog Lollies had put out where I guess you could maybe read this as sounding a little jaded, whatever, right? But it reads, I'm not going to waste any time arguing, defending, or justifying anything. However, I do need some input from you. Ready? Homework, please answer all three to get 100%. 1. When you want something affordable, can you be more specific? We need to be speaking apples to apples here. What is your ideal price point for leggings? Be reasonable here though. No one can expect a luxury pair of leggings to cost $5, okay? What feature could you live without? For example, removable bra pads, cutting unnecessary features equals lower cost. I don't think this is a hot take when I say this. People might think so, right? Because I don't know how people are going to interpret my words, but you're not going to get luxury for $5. You just aren't. You can't buy a Chanel flap for $5. You're not going to get a pair of leggings that doesn't sag and roll at the waistband for $5 because the material will be a lot cheaper. The construction will be a lot cheaper. My Chanel flap argument is not the best argument to make here because yeah, it's not the same nuance as like buying from a small creator, right? Getting a dupe from a small creator, I think is like very, very rude. Duping a product from a massive corporation with a fuck ton of money with $1 billion net worth, different. Look, like that's a whole other thing. Yeah. So I think I do agree that this is probably not the best analogy I'm using. I don't want to use like another small creator and throw their name into like my argument. I think the Chanel flap is probably my best example I could give for the, hey, this thing is out of my price point, but I want it. But I feel entitled to have it. So Chanel, lower your price. I think that's like the best way I could explain that. Point I was trying to make is because it is out of my price point, I just recognize it is out of my price point and I am not their target market. I don't demand that they lower their price to accommodate me, if that makes sense. They're showcasing her leggings. The leggings are 60 euros. And here's what some commenters are adding. So Jesse writes, you think clothes are only of good quality if they can be treated like shit? Literally nobody is keeping you from having nice things. Quote, I want you to make your clothes using exploitative business practices so I can have this exact design right now, brand new, end quote, is the worst possible take. If you want quality products for cheap without exploiting anybody or fueling a predatory industry by simply thrifting, a practice that has existed for your whole life and is easier than ever. Andrea adds, are you saying that because you and other people can't afford the pirouette skirt, it's okay for big companies to steal the design and fast fashion it? And the Blandino adds, but the thing is, she puts thought and intention into her designs and products. She posts videos about that all the time. Yes, they are more expensive, but they also last, don't hold smell, and she tries to add features to all of her designs. It's okay if it's not in everyone's budget, but quality items just cost money. We're just used to everything being cheap and convenient when that's not necessarily a great thing all the time. And Melanie adds, thank you. Poor people want nice things too, but can't afford luxury expensive nice things. Nice things exist that don't cost as much. Everything isn't meant for everyone, and that's okay. And another person writes, if you create something great, people are going to dupe it. It happens with every brand. You can only make sure your product has higher quality. I think get over it is a valid response. That is honestly a wild take to me. It's like the same equivalent as like if you see a kid in your class getting bullied and you just tell them to get over it, but the kid is like 4 foot tall and they're getting bullied by like that kid that hit puberty way too early, so now they're like 5'3" in like 5th grade. You know what I mean? Like, and you're just gonna like, get over it. Also, this is no flame if you hit puberty early. I did too. I was a 5'2" kid at like in 6th grade. And then I like stayed the same height for the rest of my life. So karma sucks. The point I'm just trying to make is telling people get over it when they're essentially being shoved around and bullied by a much bigger corporations with a lot more money. Kind of wild. And this person adds, can you imagine if the person who patented the original black leggings design got upset because she was duped so hard? Yeah, get over yourself. And the artist adds, is it so hard to inform yourself? A skirt and a specific design aren't the same thing. Like, she literally shows what she designed in a picture and then she shows that they copied it the exact same way. Logo placement and everything. All you needed to do was read the post. And Allison, the go up in the comments again. A design patent is valid for 15 years from the date it's granted. So eventually anybody can make a dupe, but the inventor still has the right to prevent others within that time frame. Whomever invented the black leggings, if it was one person that invented it, right? They're completely legally in their right to get a patent for it. If it was like a really unique product in its time. Like, I don't know the history of leggings, right? But you're legally in the right to do so. And again, you can't from my understanding, like what Allison said, you can't enforce a patent forever. Like it's not, eventually it becomes like public property, essentially, from my understanding of how it works. Don't quote me. I am not a lawyer or an attorney or anything like that. I feel like there's just too much entitlement. I'm gonna be honest. Too many people in this world are entitled. I talked about this before with another situation with a VTuber. I don't know if I'll upload it. So I don't actually know if I'll ever put it on my channel, but it was the same situation, right? Where there was an artist. I've actually coached them before, which I think is really funny. They made something really, really cool. And then a whole bunch of people started duping it. Like they made their own versions. People were offering commissions before she could even offer commissions on that design, which was wild. My personal take is like, too many people feel entitled. The artist literally just came up with the idea and then everyone's like, oh my God, it's so cool. I want it. And they just jumped in on it because they felt entitled to have it. You know, when it's like, hey, why don't we just give a little bit of respect to the original creator to be like, hey, ask for permission. Is this okay? Or in Cassie's case, you know, if she got a patent, sell a different skirt design. Like you really have to have this one. You have to have it. Right? You're gonna die without it. And then it's like, oh, I need to have it, but I don't have $60. So instead, I'm gonna buy it from these much bigger retailers that stole our design, that priced it much cheaper, even though the quality sucks, because I have to have it. Like, does that not read as entitlement to you? Unless you're gonna die without it, you don't need it. If you're gonna yoink some food from a big corpo or whatever, I don't see anything. Eat. You need to live. You don't need a purple skirt to live, okay? Maybe that's a bit of a hot take. I'm curious about your thoughts, but and my personal take is too many people I feel like feel really entitled to have something or have access to something. It's because Taylor Swift wore it and it went giga popular because she wore it. Like people were already duping the skirt, but it shot up exponentially due to the fact that Taylor Swift popularized it. It's like the same thing as when K-pop idols like would wear something and then it becomes super popular all of a sudden because everyone wants to be like the idol. And then Melanie adds, this is so informative and unfair. Thanks for sharing. As a consumer, how do I know a dupe versus the original? As I had no idea about your skirt, so I'm sure to support the original. Cassie adds, it's confusing and hard these days, and that's what the dupers want. That's why I have to keep speaking up or people won't know. And it's not even their fault they don't know. They've been duped so hard due to confusion. The final point that I was gonna make too is that if you guys didn't know, she literally had cheaper versions on Target, literally to cater towards people who were arguing the whole, oh, I can't afford it. Again, this is not like flame to people who bought it who didn't know, right? If you didn't know, you didn't know. That's completely different. The issue is if you knew and then you engaged in it. And the main issue is with the big companies that are taking her IP, right? The big companies that are duping it. The thing is, like, she made her own dupes that were cheaper of her brand and her products, and they were selling at Target. Like, that's always, again, the whole I can't afford it argument, so it's okay for people to dupe your stuff is like dumb. Because she literally had cheaper versions. My point is, okay, if you really, 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 really want this purple skirt and you can't afford it, you can't afford to buy it from the original creator, I would hope that you don't try to purchase a dupe. I would just hope. Because it really impacts the artist, the creator at the end of the day. I'm just saying, send love to Popflix, Bloglotties, etc. I know I am very biased because I love their products. I own so much of their products. And I am very thankful that I'm in a position where I can afford their products. I have been at a point in my life where $60 skirts was unheard of because that's a lot of money, right? So I'm very glad to be at the point now where I can afford it. Very grateful. But at the end of the day, we have a case of an artist, content creator, etc., who has made a product that has been stolen by humongous companies worth billions of dollars. Let's all have a little bit of empathy at the end of the day, guys.